Anyway, moving along. I'm going to work through the problem that we worked, I guess, maybe last time. Schedule of safe payments, or it's schedule of safe payments at 16-5. After working in the kitchen remodeling business for several years, Terry and Phyllis decided to go in business for themselves and form Kitchens Just For You Partnership. 3 years ago, they admitted Connie as a partner and recognized Goodwill at that time because of her good client list. However, they were not able to gain sufficient market for new customers, and on September 1st, they agreed to dissolve and liquidate the business. They decided an installment liquidation to complete the project already anticipated. The balance sheet and profit and loss showing percentages in the beginning of the liquidation is as follows. So what they tell us, we've got cash of $12,000. We have receivables of $63,000. Terry, one of the partners, has a loan of $9,000. Inventory, we have $48,000. And goodwill, $28,000. On the other side, on the liability side, we have accounts payable of $43,000 and a loan from a partner. Connie loaned us $15,000. Our partners' capital accounts are Terry, Phyllis, and Connie. Now what we're doing is computing what we have in safe payments. Now, when we go through and do this, the important thing is to look at what happens to the partners' capital accounts as we provide for losses. So the first thing that we're going to do is look at the assets and what's happened. Number one is goodwill. Goodwill is something that stands up, it's something that's there for going concern. When you're getting ready to go out of business, you know that goodwill no longer exists. So we're going to write off the goodwill. And our write-off of goodwill, the $28,000, Phyllis has 50%, Terry has 30%, Connie has 20% of the cap is their revenue distribution percentages. The goodwill of $28,000, Phyllis would. Before I do that, I need to put them up there, don't I? Our beginning capital accounts, Terry has $12,000. Phyllis has $36,000. And Connie has $54,000. Now, the normal balance of these capital accounts is credit, so they got brackets on them. when we write off the goodwill, we're going to reduce the capital account. So half the goodwill goes to Phyllis, that's $14,000. Terry has 30% of it. Which is $8,400. Connie has 20% or $5,600. So we've written off goodwill. The next thing we have to deal with is some of the activity that's happened. They tell us that the partner, during the first month of liquidation, the partnership collected $41,000 in receivables and decided to write off $12,000. So the fact that they collected $41,000, we look at our receivables, we take off $41,000, we still have so we're going to, we collected $41,000. And the thing we decided to write off $12,000. So the $12,000 that we write off, $6,000 is Phyllis. $3,600 is Terry, and $2,400 is Connie. So we got cash, some cash out of it. So we look at receivables. We had $63,000. We collected $41,000. That left us with $22,000. We're going to write off $12,000 more, so now receivables has a balance of $10,000. We sold inventory. We sold half of the inventory, which would be $24,000. So we started off with $48,000. We sold half of it, it's $24,000. So that leaves us with $24,000 of inventory. Now, when we sold the inventory, we lost $4,000. So we have the loss on sale of inventory. And that loss of $4,000, half of it goes to Phyllis, which is $2,000. $1,200 goes to Terry, and $800 goes to Connie. What we're doing is we start off with the capital accounts and we reduce them as we write off assets. The assets that we have written off, goodwill, we wrote off receivables, and we wrote off the loss of the inventory. So if we look and see what are our capital balances at this point, and this is as of, we started off, and this is 9/1 of X9. This is capital balances 930 of X9. So we're looking at balance, we have 84, 912. So this has gone negative by $1,200. Phyllis's account has dropped to 21,500, and Connie's account is Phyllis's has dropped to 14,000. And Connie's is 45,200. Now, these accounts are still positive, but Terry's capital account now has a negative balance in it. Some things that we have to do. We have to provide for possible losses. So when we look at this, we now have $10,000 receivables. We have Terry's loan of $9,000, and we have $24,000 worth of inventory. So this brings us to $43,000 of assets that we have. Now, we look at this from a worst case scenario. What if we don't get any more, we're not able to sell any more of the inventory, and we can't collect any more of the receivables? If that happens, are we going to have enough money to pay our accounts payable and the note to Connie? Plus, we have one other thing. We have liquidation costs. So let's take our liquidation costs. So we have, let's take the 43,000 first. So to get the 43,000, we're going to write off the remaining assets. Remaining non-cash assets. So this would be 43,000 would be 21,500 to Phyllis. And 30% or 12,900 to Terry, and 8,600 to Connie. After this, we have a possible loss. We have the liquidation cost. Our liquidation cost is $6,000, so half of this goes to Phyllis, which is $3,000. 1,800 goes to Terry, and 1,200 goes to Connie. So we come down and we have a balance. So Terry starts with a deficit. He increases it by 1,800, goes to 3,000, and then 12,900 gives him a deficit of $15,900. Phyllis starts with a positive of 14,000, but she has $3,000 loss, or the liquidation cost, and 21,500 of the write-off of the remaining assets, which takes her account to a negative 10,500. Connie starts with 45 and takes off the 86 and the 1,200, and she ends up with 35. She ends up with 35,400, but she still has a positive balance in her capital account. Now, we can't distribute to people that have negatives, and to determine whether we can distribute anything to Connie, we have to pass their negatives over to her account. So we will take the 15,900 of Terry, the 10,500 of Phyllis, and the total of those two is 26,400, which comes over to Connie. So after that, Connie has $9,000 remaining. So we can make a safe payment. We can make a payment in the amount of $9,000, and we make that payment to Connie. Now, and this is a case where we identified one recipient of a safe payment. There are other possibilities. Let's say that this comes to $40,500. We then would have a different computation. We're going to take and spread this to these two parties. What's the ratio we're going to use to spread them? So it would be 20 plus 50 is 70. So there would be 50 70ths here and 20 70ths here of the 15,900. They would come in, there would still be a capital account, so whatever the residual of that would be, let's go ahead and make the computation. What's the, who's got a calculator? What is the 15,900 times 50 divided by 70?
$11,357.14.
$11,300.
$357.14.
We'll just we'll take the pennies out. How about 15,900 times 27?
45,
Am I 45?
45, 43.
So now, this is 15,900 coming off. That goes to 0, and this would be 3. So if this were the situation, and you got to really just kind of look at this. we would have cash payments to two of the partners and none to the third. All right, let's say we had this situation. Here, we have two partners with large negative balances. If we take and distribute the 15,900 and the 40,500, so now we have 56,400. That means that this account will also go negative. By $21,000. So since this account is negative, what kind of safe payment do we have?
We don't have the same.
None.
We don't do it.
So if this residual, when you allocate it to the remaining partner, if it's more than the balance in the partner's capital account, then there won't be any state payments. I appreciate y'all taking some time to look through this. There's nothing more exciting than state payments. So we covered the three cases. So now I can ask bizarre questions and not have any guilt.